Welcome back, bitches.
If you made it this far, we appreciate you.
So this week we are talking about 2025 goals. We won't say resolutions, but goals for the year. Have you made your list?
Honestly, I feel like the only goal that I have would be to be more present. I feel like obviously going into prep and everything, I still have goals from last year,
Yeah.
but there's no major goals I would say that I have. Just be more present. How about you?
So I would agree with that, but also I think last year was just a big year of like growth for me. And so this year I really want to dial that in and obviously physically really like hone in on like my diet and activity and just like really like level up the result that I saw last year. And I think that's really the biggest goal that I have is just like, and also just to do things that make me feel good. Like stop doing things that don't make me feel good and really focus on doing things that do, like being better about taking my vitamins and just like really taking care of my body so that I can feel better mentally.
So kind of like establishing a healthy routine.
Yeah.
That's the
Taking accountability for the things that I, you know, don't love and knowing that I had a part, it's my responsibility to change it.
fact. Let's get into it.
Yeah. You know what I have been seeing though is these butt wipes on TikTok talking shit about like, oh, my gym's gonna be so busy because it's the beginning of the year, all the people with like New Year's resolutions, and it's like, you're an asshole.
Agreed. I actually have been going to EOS the last 2 days
Uh-huh.
and it's been dead, dude. Like I'm surprised. Like I walk in and it's dead.
Well, because it's people like that that like, it makes people insecure. Like they're already not feeling the best, which is why they want to do that. And then to know that there's going to be these buttholes that are just like silently judging them because they're new to the gym and trying to do better for themselves. It's like, but all these at home gym companies, like they're probably making a killing right now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm like, let me open up a little gym in my garage for all you people.
Literally. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get all these little gadgets, which I did get to use my workout equipment over the weekend. So that's
That's that.
yeah. While Ellis just ran around.
He's like, Mom, what is this? This is
I know. And
I thought you were literally talking about butt wipes when you said that earlier.
oh, like the
Like dude
dude
wipes. I
what?
was like, oh, are you talking about dude wipes? Like everyone has seen those, Lindsay.
No, the fucking butt wipes at the gym.
Yeah, there's some real assholes on the internet. Last week we talked about party girl eras.
Our party girl era, yes. Did you watch that Avicii documentary on Netflix?
I didn't, but I seen it on your story, and I will probably attempt to watch that on the plane tomorrow.
So it was done very well. And it was like, it was just so sad. Like, feel as though that's so many people's story, just the entertainment industry, not just music. But it was so sad. And it was just like, had me reminiscing about all my little rave girl days. And I was like, well, so sad. Such a good time.
I never got into the whole rave thing because my mom like drilled it in my head when I was younger. She's like, if you go to raves, like people will just shoot you up. And I'm like, Mom. So she terrified me. So I'm
Really,
like, fuck that. Like, I ain't never going to a rave, you know? And then you talk to all these people and they're like, no, that's not what
it's
happened.
literally the best time ever.
I was like, oh, she just put fear in my eyes.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks
So
for the trauma.
if you just make up a bunch of shit, I've never seen that ever a time in my life.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was like different back in the 60s and 70s. Well, she wasn't born in the 60s, 70s and 80s. Maybe it was
Like
different.
Woodstock.
I don't know. Anyway,
That's so I hate that I just said that. I'm like, was there color TV when you were born? No, I've never seen anything like that.
yeah, I'm like, Mom, people aren't just out here doing heroin and meth.
I mean, they might be, but not
Well,
like out in the open.
yeah.
You know, what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Not like that. I feel like it definitely has gotten a little more crazy. once it started getting, I hate to say this, but like mainstream, like once you could just buy tickets online and go to a rave, it did change. But I think that is anything, any type of music, maybe you saw a band at some local dive bar and now they're huge. Like, of course, the experience is going to be different.
We're trying to
I
get
think
Lindsay
it's
to talk a little louder.
might be guys, but yeah, like it was always just such a chill experience. It was never, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I've never been. Maybe one day I'll get to experience it.
Yeah, I haven't been in a long, long, long time. I think since AJ was a baby was the last time I went to a show of any kind. And it was just like a smaller show. No drugs were done in the process because I was trying to be a good mom.
I am a mother. Um,
You made your vision board, right?
I did make my vision board. I have to look at my phone to remember what's on it. I always make them in Canva and then I set it as a screen, my wallpaper on my phone.
I need to do mine.
So on my vision board is a photo of a house because I want to be a homeowner by the end of 2025. And then there is a first place medal with a bikini and some heels. So more manifesting that.
Yes, Skyler is competing in October.
August.
August.
August 2nd.
What show is that?
Whitney?
Natural?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're
Yeah.
not doing Winnie Jones Classic. You're doing the natural show?
Yeah.
Okay. I might get to tan Skylar for her show. So, fun fact, outside of my spray tan business, I do also spray tan with a big company, Liquid Sunrays, that solely does bodybuilding shows. And I have worked with them for the last 3 years. So I might get to tan Skylar for her show. So that would be fun.
Don't know. Cans for bodybuilding shows are actually the worst thing ever.
Oh, yeah, they're absolutely terrible. But I mean, not in quality, but just the process. It's a long process. And as it is, like when you're prepping for a show, when you're days away from show day, you're doing like things like dehydrating yourself, like your skin feels icky, and then you put all these layers of spray tan that you cannot rinse off until after the show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And then like TMI, but like you're already have the worst stomach ache of your life. So to have to sit on the toilet like with that it's 10 out of 10 don't recommend, but we do it anyway.
yeah, it's a process. It's a lot. But I feel like it's probably worth it. I mean, people continue to do it. So clearly it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's
In the grand scheme of things, that's not the worst part of the process.
absolutely not. On my vision board, I also have an engagement ring because I need to have a wedding. Okay.
You need to put the wedding on your vision board.
Well, I don't want to have a wedding in 2025. I have a lot of other stuff going on, but I would like to be a fiance.
Fiance, you hear that, Dalen?
Yeah, if you're watching this, no, I already told him that I put a
upgrade
ring.
her.
I'm like,
You're like, here's my vision board. So
I'm like, here's my vision board. Can you buy me a house and a ring, please?
yeah. So if you want to help out with any of this, that would be great.
What about a third Frenchie? No, I'm kidding. He would kill me. And then
Do it.
And then in there, I have a picture of a super aesthetic gym because hopefully one day I will have my own gym. I have a photo of Montana on there because I want to be there all of the time. Dalen does not.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He's like, I work there. He's like, what are you going to do when it's snowing out and you have to go somewhere else?
Like,
funny of you to assume I'll have a job.
I don't think you understand here. You're gonna be there and you're gonna show the driveway for me. What are you talking
I
about?
want to have a summer house there
And travel.
and just set it
That
down.
would be so fun. Because we've talked about, what would we do if we want to move? Like, even just buy a new house. But because of the fact that we have the casita and Ian's parents live with us for part of the year, we want to keep that kind of living arrangement. But we've talked about what if we just get like, a house on a little bit of property and then get them like a tiny house. And they're so nice, actually.
They are.
They're so nice and reasonably priced too.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
So if you could get something that you can just like haul.
I love traveling. I did so much traveling this past year, partially because Galen's job is over the road. So for a good amount of time, we were in Montana, absolutely fell in love with it. Oh my gosh. And I didn't even get to see like the prettiest parts, but the part like I was just in a small town and literally I never wanted to come home. When I came back to Arizona, I was like, this is depressing.
I hate it here.
I hate it here. Like the green, the trees, and maybe it's just because like I'm from a small town in Indiana. It's like was a super homey feel.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind staying in the camper for weeks at a time. Those of you who don't know, my boyfriend lives out of a camper because he is a traveling man. The camper's super nice though. So then we drove from Montana to New Mexico, where he is now. That drive was pretty. Colorado was super pretty.
Yeah.
But being in the car that long sometimes, I'm like,
Road trips are always great in theory. And then I'm like, why did I do this? We have so many more hours. Oh,
I'm like, give me a snack. I'm so hungry. He's like, let's just try and make it there. I'm like, no, literally, I'm gonna freaking die.
no, my toxic trait is needing all the snacks. I'm like, I'm going to starve on this road trip. Like, I need all of them.
Yeah, and he's just like, I can eat once a day and be fine. And I'm like, okay, well, I eat about 15 times a day, and this just isn't gonna work for me. So, and then I eat so clean that like when I eat that shit food, then my stomach hurts, and I'm like, wait, I need you to pull over. I was watching this podcast, and they had a like. They did a lie detector test. Like they had their audience ask them questions that they wanted to know, and they did a lie detector test. And dude, that'd be so funny. It was Bree, Zach Bryan's ex. And Josh or whatever his name is. But I thought it was fun.
So I did see that as well. And I was reading through the comments and everyone was like, this guy, the lie detector test guy, I guess is like a known like fraud or something. Basically, he'll say it's a lie and then either the information is not accurate or he's just making shit up. I don't know. I didn't go that far into what that meant, but everybody was like, yeah, this guy lies about it all the time. I'm like, love that. I've always been kind of skeptical about those.
Same, honestly, because I'm like, they're like, oh, well, it's like the change in your heart rate or whatever. Right. But it's like, what if I just needed time to think about the question?
That being said, though, so we have family that are in the military. One specifically, I won't say who he is to who because I don't want to out him, but he would say like that people train themselves to be able to lie on those tests and pass it. So you can like kind of cheat the system a little bit.
Well, I would assume like pathological liars beat that with no problem because they're just so used to lying.
Well, I think it's a mental thing, right? Like if you're dishonest about something, like of course you're gonna be anxious because you're like, well, I'm being a liar, like typical people.
Yeah, I would say I don't know though, because growing up, I feel like I was a little liar, like in my teenage years.
No, me too.
And like, I did not feel nervous about lying. I was just like, no, I did not do that. Like,
that was always something that, and in hindsight, I didn't love that about myself. I don't love that I was that way, but also, like they say, strict parents raise sneaky kids, and that's exactly what happened. When I was a teenager, I would lie, but I learned to keep it like short and sweet and not elaborate because my older sister, she would come up with this elaborate, detailed story. Like, here's what we did, here's what time we were there, here's what, all the details. This is what the weather was like. And so my mom would be like, okay, noted. And then later throughout the week, or maybe even a couple weeks later, she would ask a question. Hey, like, well, remind me when you were at your friend's house, what was it that you guys, what was that show you were watching again or whatever? And my sister would obviously forget her elaborate story and then get caught. And my mom would be like, I fucking knew you were lying to me. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet, no details.
Right.
And then you don't forget. And I don't know if my mom ever just was like, I can't fucking catch this bitch. Like, I know she's lying to me, but I have no evidence proving that she is, you know?
I feel like I lied to my parents, but I don't know why because like I'm the baby of four.
Yeah.
I feel like by the time my parents got to me on the sibling tree, they were just like,
We're tired.
okay, whatever. Now, me and my sister, one of my sisters, are only 11 months apart. So most of the time when we were doing bad things, we were doing them together.
Yeah.
Like sneaking out of the house. Like, I'm like, yo, you're the one with the driver's license. Like, I only have a permit. Come on. Like, we got to go to this
Let's go.
party. Um, but my mom always told us, like, just be super honest with me and,
Yeah.
like, I will let you do whatever. Like, if you're drunk, please call me. I will come pick you up, like,
Right.
whatever. And it's funny because I vividly remember that we were at a party in Rainbow Valley and the cops came and I was 15, 16 years old and everyone was running. And so I started running, but like, I am not a track star. Okay. Like, I don't have wheels on me and I definitely almost got caught. I remember everyone was running. It's probably like 1 o'clock in the morning, dark as fuck. Like,
Yeah, there's no lights out
there's
there.
fields, there's people's dogs, there's backyards we're running through. Well, everyone was gone and I was left behind. No one waited for me. You guys are all fake as fuck. Um, and so I went into a shed, some random person's shed in their backyard, and I just shut the door. And then I called my mom and I was like, yo, girl, like, I'm in some random guy's shed. The cops are here. Like, I need you to come pick me up.
Like, but don't make a scene.
Yeah. And she did. But like I would still lie to her about stuff. And I'm just like, why are you doing this? Like, she wouldn't lecture. She would just, I mean, she always said herself, like, kids are going to do what kids do. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I was a teenager at one time. And so I don't know why I lied to her. But my dad, the less he knew, the better. Like, he didn't ask many questions. He had 3 daughters. He was
I
outnumbered.
don't want to know.
Yeah, he didn't even like come to our side of the house when we were growing. Like, he was just like, I don't want to know what you guys are doing. I don't know. Don't tell me it unless I need to know.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because like I see these dads now and they're like, I need to know everything my daughter's doing. And then there's my dad and he's like, look, it saves me so much peace if I just don't know.
Accurate. I feel like that's kind of my dad too. Like, when I had to tell him I was pregnant at 19 years old, I we sat down and had a meeting, him, my mom, and I, and he's like, "Listen, you're dating a 23-year-old man. You think I don't know that you guys were doing things like, but I didn't want to know it.
You're like, well, surprise.
Surprise, you're gonna be a grandpa."
So happy now that like if I were to ever get pregnant, like at least I have my own house, my own job. Like, okay, dad, what are you gonna say? Like,
They'd be like, "Finally."
yeah, no, literally. My siblings pop out kids like they're candy, okay? Like my oldest sister has 5, my brother has 3, and then Haley has 2. So like I'm like, I'm just waiting for your kids to be old enough to babysit mine. Like,
I feel like I'm learning from all of you.
so yeah, I think the day that I ever get pregnant, my parents will be like, oh my God, thank God. Like they always tell me, they're like, we're only getting dogs for Mio. And I'm like,
Yeah. You're like, it might be that way forever.
it might be that way forever. I'm like, so do you want to babysit your
Yeah,
grand
you're like,
dog?
who's gonna be the nanny?
Yeah.
Which one of you?
Well, one time I had left Doug with my dad for the weekend and I went up to Parker with my friends and he sent me a video. My parents have like a built-in bar in their backyard.
Yeah.
And a swimming pool. So he sent me a video of him taking the dog swimming. And then he sent me a video of him like pouring his Miller Lite and letting the dog drink some.
Stop.
And he was like, I'm like, Dad, what the fuck are you doing right now?
Aw.
But it was so cute. He texted me. He is like, a picture of the dog. He's like, hi, Mom.
Aw.
Grandpa of the year.
Is he like the best grandpa ever?
Yeah. It's so funny though, because so he has 4 granddaughters. The rest are boys. But you can totally tell that he's a girl dad. 100%. Like, my dad is,
Softy.
yeah, like such a girl dad, or like even with my niece, she's 4 and she has the attitude of, I don't even know. She has an attitude. And even like my dad just deals with it. He just ignores it. And I'm like, yeah, you could definitely tell it that you like raised 3 daughters. So he's the ultimate girl dad for sure.
I love that.
Yeah, I tell my dad, I'm like, this is your karma.
This is what you get.
No, he's like, Luke, he probably hates his life for having 3 daughters. And I'm just kidding, but
I feel like he probably low-key loves it.
I would hope so, because like this is what it is. I'm pretty sure he didn't like the high school phase or
Right.
like,
I mean, who does, honestly?
yeah, like when I would come home crying because I was like fighting with my boyfriends in high school. Like he was just like, honey, I remember one line he said to me that stood out. And I was crying because I had gotten cheated on. And I was sitting in the garage with him. And I was like, oh, but like he bought me a little Delulu brain, right? I was like, oh, but he like bought me a watch and he bought me all of this like to make up for it. And my dad was like, honey, I'm going to be so for real with you right now. Like in high school, me and my cousin had a competition of who could sleep with the most women. And I was like,
Yep.
what?
He's
And
like, let me let you into the boy brain.
yeah, he's like, just because he buys you something, like, does not mean he's sorry, does not mean he's in love with you. And I'm like,
period.
well, things are making me feel even shittier, Dad, but I'm going to take this watch.
So I took him back.
I did. And then I had a lot of anger issues. I was definitely my dad's most angry daughter.
Yeah.
Like one time I got mad at a boy and I had 2. I promise I'm not this crazy anymore. Okay, please forgive me for saying this. I had 2 Smirnoff bottles that were glass and I chucked it at this boy's car in front of the house and my dad was sitting in the garage. He didn't really say much, partially because like I get my anger from him. So like
he's like,
I went upstairs after I threw the bottles at the car, got my shoes, and then got in the car with him and left. And I came back home and my dad and uncle were sweeping the glass up out of the road.
oh.
And I'm like, oh my God, Dad, you're so nice. Like,
I feel like, sorry about that.
thanks for that. I had a little manic episode, but we're back.
That's hilarious, actually. He's like, that's my girl.
Yeah, so I probably caused my dad a lot of trauma, but, at the end of the day, he still loves. So it's fine. He's like, here she goes again.
My parenthood trauma. That's so real, though, I feel like.
Yeah.
Parenthood trauma.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I probably caused my dad a lot of like, and mom pulling their hair out moments. Like I was so sassy to my mom, but I was also scared of her.
Yeah. I think that's AJ with me. I was terrified of my mom too, but my mom never had to exercise that fear. Like, I never tested it. I'm sure I talked back a little bit, but I never went further. And so my mom never had to pull me by my hair or whoop my ass in the next week. But AJ she tests me and I'm like, I'm gonna go crazy.
I know. And yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I definitely tested mine. But I feel like I was such an entitled child.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't intentionally be that way. Like,
no.
as children, it's like you are literally a product of your environment.
Yeah. And like my parents, like, just always gave us everything we wanted.
Yeah.
And looking back on that, I'm like, that's why I acted the way I acted. Like, no shade to them for like providing the way they did, but it was like, yeah, I was a spoiled rotten brat for sure.
Well, I think because as parents, you always want to give your kids more than what you had, And so you think you're trying to do better. And then in turn, it kind of bites you in the ass a little bit. Like, it's hard to find that balance of giving them everything you want them to have while also raising them to be grateful and humble. It's like so if you like have succeeded in doing that, please drop some tips because I definitely I have told AJ like you have no idea what it's like to struggle, in that sense. Like materialistically, she's never had to struggle. There's a lot of other things that she's struggled with, but it's the entitlement and just like all of that. What?
Excuse me, who are you?
Like we talk about it all the time because it's like our kids eat so well. They have access to so much better food and everything than we ever did. Like I grew up on freaking banquet meals. Like I was sitting there microwaving 2, 3 TV dinners just to get that brownie.
Dude, yes.
Like
Or the kid cuisines like that.
yes, yeah,
And the
just to get that
little-
little brownie.
Yeah.
And because that's that's what my mom could afford. That's what was easy because she had to leave us girls home alone. And it's like the world is her oyster, and she's just like, eh, they suck.
Yeah, and it's like crazy too because like growing up when we lived in Indiana, we were by no means wealthy. I remember like there was times my bus driver was like dropping off food at the house for us. And obviously my dad had broken his back, so he couldn't work. My mom was like working the 3 jobs just to try and get us through. And then life happened, whatever. My parents got pretty wealthy. So like I've had both. And now when I grow up and I get out of that teenage phase, like I'm very thankful I had broke. It
Yeah,
definitely like gives me the drive to never want to be there again.
yeah.
But now when I look back at my teenage self, I'm just like, damn, like you were an entitled little bitch.
Hmm.
Like what were you doing? Like
Yeah,
your parents are out here working their ass off to give you everything you could ever want and like you're just out here running the streets like
yep. I was definitely an asshole to my dad though, because like my dad was the one that like went off, started making like really good money, just like spoiled us with everything. Anytime I wanted anything, I'd call my dad. Like, Dad, I need some money. I'm going to the mall with my friends. And he'd give me $300. And I actively was seeing both sides like at the same time. So I was like, I think I took it out more on my dad for sure. Like, I was a bitch to him. If I'm sure my dad needs to go to therapy just simply to unpack his experience as being my dad. And I think that as a girl, you're always going to need your mom.
a
There's
hundred
always going to
percent.
be that like connection. Whereas like with your dad, it is different. But I kind of felt that way with my dad. Like my dad, I always knew that there was nothing I could say or do to make my dad feel like differently about me. Whereas with my mom, obviously, so it's like I kind of minded my P's and Q's with my mom and then was able to be a little more open, like, and really tell my dad, like, what was on my mind, it's just so crazy how that all works.
Yeah, and it's so different for like everybody
Yeah.
too. Some people like tell both parents, but like my dad always told us like the less I know, the better. And I think part of it is too, like you want to maintain that image of like you're my little like yeah,
Princess.
like you're my little
Yeah.
princess, you're my little girl who like you were when you were like 2 years old, you know.
Yeah.
And they just like kind of hold on to that.
Right. But your mom has been through what you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
experience the puberty as a woman, all of the changes that you experience as a woman. So it's like they get it more than
yeah. And I feel like dad is for sure like the fuck yeah, let's have a good, like the more I don't even know how to say it. Not the more fun parent. He's more lax in a sense of like when we were little. I remember one time we had a water fight, like not a water gun fight. We used the garden hose. My mom was at work and we did it inside the house.
oh no.
And she came home in the middle. So that I didn't get in trouble, he did.
You're like,
I
I
didn't-
mean, yeah, if there's an adult there, it's like, what the actual fuck
I
is
was
going
just
here?
I was just the baby. No, so like he definitely was more like lax in that sense of like, but I always tell everyone, I'm like, my dad is a kid in an adult
Yeah,
body. Like he definitely is.
like a man child.
Oh, for sure. And I think it keeps him young. But,
Yeah.
and my mom's more of like life, like life. This is life. Like, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, like teaching you those things.
She's fun too. Like, she's fun to party with and she's fun to hang out with and like just chill with overall. But when it comes to like being reckless, it's definitely my father
Yeah.
for sure.
There's always one that plays that part for sure. Like that was my dad too. Like he was kind of the fun parent. But to be honest, if you were to ask my daughter, she would say I'm not the fun parent.
What? I feel
She's
like
like,
you and Ian are both fun though.
we are, but like he's more like, I don't know. I feel like he's more fun in some ways.
He's like goofier.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. He just like when it comes to like making a mess, I will get overstimulated and then I'm like, I gotta vacuum the whole entire house. I gotta dust all the things. Like, and so I just am a little more uptight in that sense. I don't want to be, and I also like never was one that played well, like imaginative play, I guess would be a good term, like with kids, you know?
Right.
Like, oh, let's pretend, let's play whatever.
Let's
Like,
play school.
that's never been my gig. And so, now that AJ's older and we have more in common, like, she likes her makeup and skincare and hair and stuff like that. Like, we kind of can,
Bond over
yeah,
that.
we can bond over that. But I never did like play. Whereas he's totally about it. Like he'll go outside and play with you. I don't want to fucking go outside and play.
First of all, let me sit my ass on this couch.
I will sit here on the chair and watch you, but I don't want to play.
Yeah.
I don't want to swim. I don't want to do, like, and I know that that's a me thing and that shouldn't be their problem, but it's like, you know how much money I pay on my hair? I'm not getting in the fucking pool, okay?
I'm like, actually, I can't swim because the spray tan Lindsay just gave me on Thursday will come right the fuck off.
Like, I put my feet in. I put my sunscreen on and do the whole nine and get my bathing suit on, and then I'll just put my feet in, and then I'm like, okay, are we done here? Like, I can't
It's
do
been
this all
10
day.
minutes.
Yeah, can't do this all day. Whereas he's the one that's like, he'll get in and like do flips with them and play games. It just is.
I think maybe that's a dad thing. Because, like, you just, like, hearing you describe it is just like my mom and dad, Like,
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, so maybe it's just a man thing.
maybe.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But, like, I'm definitely, like, being an aunt, too. I feel bad sometimes because, like, I don't want to swim with you all day. Like, I don't want to play Barbies or babies.
Well, and it's like they want to play Barbies and they're like, Ashley, why did you say this to me? And I'm like, because you're being a trifling ass hoe. And then they're like, what?
No, but my niece, Braylee, she's 4, and she is like, I need a Louis Vuitton purse. I need makeup. I need to have like Urban Decay naked palette. Girl, I'm telling you, this girl is a spitting image of me and it's scary as fuck. Okay, her dad always says that. And so she came over the other day and me and my sister were packing up the house and she's like, "Can you guys just stop and give me a facial?" And I'm like, "Damn girl." Like,
She's like, look, this is fun and all, but you're really cutting into myself.
my skincare routine is very important. I'm like, "You are 4."
Yeah.
So I'm praying for my brother-in-law.
Yeah. That's AJ too. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
take me out.
Oh my God.
Take me out. But you know what though, is I fully know that if I was her age, like if all of this stuff was available when I was 12 years old, I'd be the same thing. The difference is I couldn't afford to go to Ulta and Sephora. So I went to Big Lots across the street and got cheap ass makeup and like skincare from there, perfume.
You know what's funny is I've never been, and this like might surprise a lot of people. I've never been like a girly girl.
Yeah.
I still don't consider myself a girly girl. Like, yeah, I get my lashes done. I have hair extensions. I get tanned every week. But like, if you were to ask me how to do my makeup, I don't fucking know. Like, I still buy makeup from Walgreens because like, I just, like, it's never been something I cared to learn.
But she's jacked as fuck, if you're wondering. So
I think that's the reason, like, I do get my lashes done because, like, I just wake up and I don't need anything. Like,
right.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, being a girly girl, like, no, I like to have my nails done and my lashes done. But, like, 99.9% of the time, you will catch me with no makeup on my face.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't, I don't dress in dresses. If I'm in a dress, call the fucking police because something is seriously wrong. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Skirts, you go in my closet and it's like gym clothes, oversized tees, and maybe a couple dresses.
Yeah. I feel like as far as like clothing, I've never been like pink frilly dresses and you know, things like pink
I
slip-
admire the girls who do
Oh,
that though.
sure.
I'm like, how do I get my aesthetic like this? Because
Yeah.
like it's just mine is like so grunge.
Right. Like I want to be a clean girl. I want to wear slick back bun. I would literally look insane if I did that.
We should do an episode of us trying to do a slick back bun.
Stop. I
Because like I don't know if I could do it, but I'd be willing to try.
Okay, let's do it. I might cry. I'll be like, why does my head look like this?
I look like an egg, but it's fine.
But like I've always been girly in the sense of like my makeup, my hair.
Yeah, your hair
Those
is
have
always done.
those have been like the two things that I've always even my nails, like I don't really care like if I like super basic nails, like nothing crazy, but my hair and my makeup have always been like the girliest part of me. And I used to do my makeup like full glam, like bright, like pink eyeshadow, colorful, but clothing, I cannot. I'm gonna wear black. I'm gonna wear
Same. And I think the biggest part when it comes to clothing too is like, girl, like I just want to be comfortable.
yeah, and I can't do like dresses. Like we went to that wedding and I was like, should I just wear like wide leg trousers and a cute top? And Ian was like, you cannot wear those wide leg trousers everywhere, Lindsay. He's like, you wear them to work, you wear them everywhere. You cannot also wear them to a wedding. And I'm like, okay, so I guess I'll get a dress.
Well, the people at this wedding don't know that I wear them every day. Like, what's the problem?
But if you look on any of my social media, everything I'm always wearing wide leg trousers.
I feel like more so in the past year or two, I've been stepping out of my comfort zone and I'll wear like a little black skirt with like knee high boots.
Yeah,
Um,
I need a skirt.
I mean, this right here is pretty much my everyday attire. Give me some sweatpants. Also, if I'm wearing jeans,
Yeah,
ugh,
I fucking hate jeans.
dude,
I
jeans
love
suck.
them.
I want to love them so bad.
I want to be like, I was looking at outfit ideas on TikTok because I'm like, I just get into this habit of kind of wearing the same style things. You know, like I have those trousers and I have two pair black, brown, like all of them. And then like leggings, obviously. And then jeans, I can't seem to figure out. And so I'm like looking on TikTok and there's all these cutesy little girls with their straight leg, kind of baggy, not too baggy jeans and a fitted top. I'm like, why can't I do that? Why do I not like, for whatever reason, I can't seem to just put the most basic ass outfit together.
Honestly, same. And funny we're talking about this because I went jean shopping yesterday and I hate the way every pair of jeans fit.
Yeah.
By the time I think I tried on 8 pair of jeans yesterday, my sister's like, "All right, which one are you getting?" I'm like, "None."
Where did you go?
Uh, Abercrombie. Those have been fitting me the best lately.
Yeah.
PacSun, Hollister, American Eagle. I ended up buying 2 pair from American Eagle. Still have not tried them on, so I'm praying they fit. I'll maybe do that today.
That's where I get a lot of my jeans.
Yeah, and I really have been liking the nice curve love
Yeah.
from Abercrombie.
Yeah.
A lot. They shape your body so well, but
Right.
I just ripped the ass in my favorite pair. So,
Abercrombie, do you have a warranty?
if you do, please reach out.
That's a bummer too because those are expensive.
Dude, I know, but we went yesterday and my sister got a pair on their clearance rack for $26.
Dude, hell yeah. I'm a clearance girly,
Same.
but I can never find anything in my size.
Yeah, dude, me either.
'Cause I need short.
My sister's like a 000. So I'm like, yeah, 000, 2 kids later.
Damn, girl.
She drinks a lot of Dr. Pepper and eats a lot of McDonald's. I'm like, if I did that, I'd be 700 pounds.
Actually, it's impressive.
I'm happy you got the good genes though, sis.
Yeah. Why does it have to be so hard?
Dude, I don't know. And then you get into like so many other factors that have to deal with why you gain weight or why you have acne or why your hair isn't growing.
I hate it here.
Like men just wake up and they just piss and they're off for the day, you know?
Yeah.
Eat whatever they want or don't eat. Drink beer. Like,
Ian's like, I cut back drinking whiskey only to my days off, and I've lost 5 pounds. I'm like, fuck you.
I'm like, great. I look at a cheeseburger and I gain 7.
I'm like, really? Wow. I stopped putting creamer in my coffee and I've put on 3 pounds. Somehow, all my macros are what they need to be. What's going on here?
Yeah, and then our periods come, and like on average, women gain 5 to 7 pounds on their period.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So wild. The female body is so wild.
I'm on my period right now and I
Same.
just like, why? And trying to explain it like to AJ, she's like, why do we get periods? And I'm like, it's our body's way of punishing us because we did not get pregnant. Like, it's shedding all of the lining that it prepared to house this hypothetical baby that did not happen. And now you have to deal with bleeding for a week. Like,
So dumb. And
like it's 2025. Like,
get with the program.
God, can we get with the program here? Can we change something in the production up there or what?
No, literally.
So I took a sociology class in high school and my teacher was saying that like basically you can convince yourself of something physically and it actually like happened. So she was saying something like she was supposed to get her period for around like prom or something like that. So she repeatedly told herself she was pregnant and so that her period would be late so that she wouldn't have it.
Girl, just take some ibuprofen.
Or I don't know if it was prom or maybe her wedding. It was like some sort of like important event. And she was like, no, if you were to convince yourself that you were pregnant, you would actually, like, your body would display symptoms. And, like, you could actually grow like a belly. Now, I'm not like, I'm sure it takes a lot of, like, you know, but yeah, your body would start to behave in the way that you've convinced yourself.
The mind is so powerful.
True.
Like, that shit's crazy.
Yeah. And it's just so wild. Like, if you're just a little delulu, then your life will just be what you think it is. If you tell yourself something over and over and over again, you are going to be that, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a rich bitch.
I attract so much money that I don't even know what to do with it.
Money comes to me so freely. I have more than I could ever need.
I'm going to buy $1 billion house.
For that?
These are your morning affirmations. Just play that little clip every morning and eventually you'll get there.
Yes. So maybe that's just what we're all doing wrong is we need to just tell ourselves.
Gaslight yourself into thinking that you're the richest bitch on this planet and eventually it will come true.
Stop thinking you're the problem.
You are the solution.
You are the solution. That could be a toxic way of thinking.
Not very. Please don't follow that advice.
So here's what not to do. Life is a trip.
Dude, it is, honestly.
How did we get here? What a wild ride.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to tell you how we got here. We put it on our vision board that we made in October and thought it would be a great idea to start a podcast. And now you have 2 bitches sitting on a couch in my spare bedroom filming a podcast for you.
Just start.
Just do it.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
Just do it. And it'll get better and better every time.
And we had no idea anything about a podcast. Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, we're still learning. But here we are.
But you know what? It is what it is. Valentine's Day merch is like calling my name.
Oh, yes. I also saw at Target while I was there, they had these cute satin robes with like feathers on like what are these called? The wrist. Yeah, the sleeves. And I was like, that would be so cute if we just like put some like cute little decorations and like dress up. Yeah, that'd be fun too.
That would be fun. I'm releasing a 16-week wellness girly guide for Valentine's Day. It is called the Love Yourself Challenge.
Oh, I love that.
It's just like a challenge for like anyone
Oh, yeah.
can purchase it and download it. So it's not on my app, but there will be a community for that too. So like it's a 90-day challenge and we go over hormone health, meal plans, nutrition, self-love, affirmations, and everything like that.
Love yourself, releasing Valentine's Day. And we can talk a little more in depth about that with when we do that episode.
Yeah. So I think it would be good for a lot of people. I am no doctor, but
no, but I'm
just based on like what I've been through, what I'm going through, hormone wise, and everything that plays into weight loss as well.
Well, yeah, and I think you as a personal trainer, you are credentialed to kind of touch on that. You can't be like, this is your problem, but you can say these are contributing factors.
Right.
Okay. We've got some fun stuff. We have a lot of very educated individuals in our village, so we're definitely going to be bringing them on and talking about that to just bring wealth of knowledge instead of listening to us
about random
bullshit.
I hope we make you guys laugh. If we don't, yes, we do.
You're wrong. You're laughing. I know you are.
You just have a really poor sense of humor.
If you're boring, just say that. Anyways, and we'll be posting on Instagram some questions. We'll do some Q&As. That's definitely in the near future. So follow us on noliterally.podcast on Instagram and TikTok.
We're also on YouTube if you guys would rather watch instead of just listen.
Yes.
But we appreciate you guys so much. We've received so much love from the podcast this far, and we cannot wait to keep bringing you the tea.
Always. We will bring it to you. Also follow Skyler at SkyBeFit with 2 T's on Instagram.
And Lindsey at Copperhouse
and Define Fitness.
Define_fitness.
Yes. We will, of course, link all of that below so that you can access it easily. But we will see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.